So yeah, we made it. It's our first game.
Yes, sir.
How
Yes,
we
sir.
feel?
Great.
Yeah, ready to win.
Yeah.
W.
Yeah. Whose home turf is this? Whose home turf is this? Ours. Thank you, Eddie. All right, no, continue.
I think it's hard.
Ready?
Serious.
Hang on, wait for it.
Nick, hurry up. Yo, about G, come on.
Don't put that in the documentary.
Ready? Win on 3! 1, 2, 3, win!
All right, done.
We are here with Adonis Hernandez Salon, who is the vice president of the Minor Men's Club Soccer team. And Adonis, first and foremost, how does it feel to be the vice president of our club soccer team?
With being like the vice president of the club soccer team, it feels nice to like take a leadership position, try to like inspire the next group of guys. I mean, I am a freshman after all, but I'm working on, developing the team as well, along with like Dante, who's a junior now, just kind of getting that that ball rolling. But it comes with like a lot of responsibilities too. Kind of being like Dante, president, his wingman, like helping him out in like his decisions, whether it be like practices, games, who's gonna start, all of that. So I do have to take care of stuff like that. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So as an e-board, as like a whole, like I said, we talk about like, because all of us kind of have like an equal say, or not kind of, but like we all do have like an equal say in decisions like that, whether it be like holding practices, discussing should we have practice on this day or whatnot, or like how can we reschedule or make better out of like a situation. For example, how last night we didn't have practice because there was low attendance, it was raining, it was overall just like not good out. And it sucked because we just came off a bad loss on the weekend, and we were discussing that should we try to get another practice going, like get a pickup, at least something to get us prepped for our next game on Sunday, because we're only going to have our Thursday practice for this week unless we hold an additional like practice. It's not going to be like official, but it's something. So it's just stuff like that. And more so just like overall discussing how the team is operating, seeing if like there's any negativity in the team, positivity, seeing what areas can we improve on as a whole. Yeah, I'd say that's what we do as like a keyboard.
Yeah. And I want your opinion. Who's got the personality of the team? For example, who are the leaders, the jokesters, who's always serious? Just what kind of personalities do we have in this team? Just name a few people.
Yeah, so I'll start with you. You definitely have like the personality and like jokes. But that's not to say that like you aren't serious. Like I know you can take like playing soccer seriously. Like when you're on the pitch, like I know you're serious. But like just to like overall lighten like the mood when like we have practices and all that, or like maybe when we're like feeling down, like you're definitely like there to like help support like the team in that aspect. I'd say for like leaders, obviously like Dante, everyone looks up to him. I feel like I'm still trying to work on that like aspect. Like I wouldn't say like I'm like a total leader yet. Like I'd say like Max is definitely a leader too. People will also look up to him. He's got like that authority. I mean, I know he is older, but he does like help run practices essentially as well. Same with like Ali too. Let's see. So jokesters, leaders, people who are serious. I feel like as a team still like we need to take it more seriously. So I don't think there's anyone exactly on my mind who like takes it so serious like that yet. But like I said, we still have time to like improve on that aspect of like, well, yes, like we're like a family, but we also want to take the game seriously. I like say sometimes like I take it seriously, like when it comes to like a game, like I am like fully like in the zone. Like I don't like want to hear like any messing around really, because we have a game and we gotta like take it seriously. I just feel like what we show off field comes onto the field. So there's that, yes.
I want to get your thoughts. Spill the beans. Tell me everything you thought about our last game against Montclair. Literally anything, everything. Just give it to me.
So, like already, like instantly when we were playing that game, well, actually let me backtrack real quick. Coming into the game, the team spirits weren't that high. I don't think we had the best practice the Thursday before our game, and a lot of people knew that too. They were upset, and overall, I feel like just going into the game, we were like, oh, we're gonna get destroyed, or like we're gonna lose badly in front of like all these people that are coming out to support us. I kind of was like that. Like I wasn't like trying to like tell everyone that. I was like just thinking in my mind, but like obviously I still want to play like the best I can to, you know, keep it competitive. So yeah, we're in the game. We start off, and then like it's just crazy that within like the first 10 seconds we concede, and just like team spirit just went down like instantly. Like I know it was still very early in the game. It was 10 seconds probably in, but I know it was definitely like it hit hard. Like to just concede that early, and we're like really like this is already happening 10 seconds in. What's gonna happen in the next minute or the 2 or 5? No. So, but then honestly after that, I think for like 15 minutes or like 20, I'd say we were like at a stalemate. I think we were playing to like their level for sure. I don't think like they played it perfect, but neither did we. But like we played onto like the level. I think we were keeping it very competitive up until later in the first half. We let up another 2 goals, unfortunately. But like in my mind, I was thinking like, okay, like yeah, the scoreline's 3-0, but really it should be like a 2-0 game right now, because that first goal was just really upsetting and just like shouldn't have happened. So then. Yes, team spirits was still down, and then once we came into the second half, and then Dante scored, I think we were all like getting like hyped, because we're like, okay, we scored on them. It's still 3-1. We just started second half. I think we have a chance to actually do this. I actually thought we were like, okay, I think we can actually make like a comeback, at least to like draw this off. And then just like unfortunately, just like silly mistakes really costed us, and then we just kept letting up more goals. Just overall, the team was playing reckless, like not even like aggressive, but just reckless, like going in for like rash challenges, playing too like quick and like jittery. I feel like, not like exactly like analyzing like the pitch, and more so just trying to get the ball off or whatever, and just not like thinking clearly. So yeah, we let up another goal. It was 4-1. And then after that, it was just like a complete mess. Like I said, we were playing very recklessly, and then they just let up more goals. We did get that red card. Max got that red card, which even sucked more, because then I feel like for like probably the most of the game, at least like on the wing side, when the fullbacks would go up to support, the wingers wouldn't like take their place or anything like that and track back. So it was very hard for the fullbacks, you know, sprint up in the field, and then once they started getting a counterattack, then they have to go all the way back, and then just to keep going and doing it over and over again really sucks. Like I'd say like me and Nick discussed that like we would go up, and then as soon as like we lost the ball, it'd be a counterattack, and we just have to sprint back, and it did end up costing a couple of goals. Like, but yeah, overall, just not a good game. I honestly think it was worse than our initial scrimmage with them, because like with our initial scrimmage against them, we were just subbing anyone. Like it doesn't matter whether they were like our reserve players, I guess. Like it wasn't even our bench. Like we were just playing anyone. But then like against Montclair at home for like an actual game, we played like our actual like main people, and we still got beat pretty bad, which sucked. And yeah, I like, if I wanted to give credit to anyone, like I don't think I'd give really credit to like anyone. Like not even myself. I don't think I played good. Especially like the first half. I think I was definitely like a bit nervous. I think in the second half, I definitely like put like my mind to it to like be more, not reckless but like aggressive, just to like really like not be scared to like commit to anything. But yeah, I just like, and it's not even to say like I'm not trying to like put anyone down, but I'm just like saying like there's like no real like star of our team, at least for that game, because like as like a team as a whole, we got beat pretty bad. But yeah, I say that's pretty much like my thoughts about the game.
So I'm here with Dante Miller, Ladder Men's Club Soccer president. And Dante, I would like to first ask you, and since well, first and foremost, when did you join Ladder Men's Club Soccer?
Say it's been about like 2 years now.
Okay.
Getting close to there, somewhere in my sophomore year, early sophomore year.
And how have you seen the development of this club from when you first joined to where we are now in these first few years?
I think a lot of like people, just a lot more people that want to play soccer, club soccer in Division 1. Just bringing in all those people, able to put a team together. So we kind of just been building off of that.
Since you are the president, and that's a very high job in this executive board that we have here with the club team. But I want to know, how passionate are you, putting in the work, putting in the dedication for this club to succeed, maybe next year, 2 years from now, just to set an example for those rising up. Just how passionate are you putting in?
Soccer is just something that's always been part of my life, so I feel like it's easy to just kind of find that time throughout your day to help out with the club. Honestly, like I was saying before, it's something that has been a part of my life for a while. I don't know if it's nice, but yeah, I'd always be willing to help out the team when needed. Yeah, that might be it.
Okay. And so since you are the president, I want to know, what certain tasks or jobs, I would say, that you have on the E-board, in your position as president.
I mean, with most presidents in like clubs, organizations, whatever it is, you're pretty much just overseeing everything else. Obviously, there's scheduling for games. Someone keeps track of finances, risk management, everything along those lines. Kind of just help out with all those, just making sure everyone's okay in their position and what they have to get done. You do need money to like run things properly because nothing's free in this situation. But it always is hard to like find for that question at least, I don't know, like the perfect amount, I guess. Kind of work with what you have in that sense.
So, with our team now, what do you see for the future, and what kind of improvements would you think there need to be made for the future of this club?
For the future, I don't think the club will have an issue with like putting a team together. The team's very young as it is now, 70-80% of them being freshmen, so I don't think the team will have any issues in terms of putting a squad together for the next 3 to 4 years. I think building off that, a coach would be really helpful. Obviously, being able to like compete at that highest level, a coach is needed. I feel like that might hit everything on that question.
Who's got the personality of the team? Who are the leaders, the jokesters, always serious? Just what kind of personalities are there that kind of bring this, maybe sort of family element to this team? I just want to get your thoughts on who's on the team. Like, what do they bring? Personality-wise.
Personality-wise, let's see. Jokesters. I feel like there's a lot of jokesters. It really just depends on the day. Joe Q, Ollie, sometimes Max. I'd say me, depending on the day. Elvis, Yushin. Those are some that come to my head. There's some players that kind of take training a little more serious than others. Paul, he's usually ready to get into practice as soon as we get there. Kind of like that anchor in our team. I mean, he is a 6, so he kind of matches the personality, I guess. Max, I also sent him for jokester, but when the time comes, he's usually ready to flip into that next gear, I guess is the way to say it. He brings that experience and age, him and Paul, some of the older guys on the team. What else was there? Jokester, the serious ones. Leaders. I feel Paul and Max also kind of fall into that range. I feel like with leader, age obviously is important, like I was saying before, so both of them bring that to the table. I feel at times I'm able to show that side of me when needed, when the team is asking for that. Ollie at times. Ollie has a good game sense, obviously, because he's played Division 3 soccer somewhere before. I should look up I'd say Division, but obviously Ollie as well. He's coming from good school, transferred in, has played college ball before somewhere else, so he kind of has a sense of what's expected for most games. I think that might be it. I don't know if I'm missing anything. What else was a part of that question?
It was just who's got the personality. I mean, is it a whole bunch of personalities mixed in together?
I think so, yeah. Just wide range of personalities come together, practice on 2 days a week, and then play a game. I think as a whole, we slowly worked on building that cohesion and chemistry throughout the team. Morale obviously isn't 100%, but it's something that doesn't happen overnight. That's a long-term process, and I hope we can build off what we have so far for the future.
And another question to add on, does this team feel like a family from the group of players we have, or is it becoming a family-like team?
I would say, yeah, it is starting to feel like a family. These people, I take time out of my week to be with them, 2 or 3 days that we have together. And I enjoy that time. That's why I want to keep coming out and helping the team build for whatever we want for the future. And obviously, I won't be here forever. Everyone else is a lot younger, so kind of just building that pedestal for them, I guess. Something along those lines. Our game was a tough one. It's our second time playing them this year. We played them in a scrimmage earlier on this semester. First game together as a team. That didn't go the best. A lot of negatives from that game as a whole, but at the same time it was our first game together, so it was expected. We played 2 games after that. Lafayette at home and then Monmouth away. Tied the first game 0-0, and then we won 3-2. That was an applauded comeback in our second game. We knew what we were getting ourselves into the second time we were playing Montclair State. And didn't seem like too much change in terms of the scoreline. I feel at certain times in the game we did compete with them, but we just were not as clinical as them. They just had a different fight, I guess fire in terms of what they wanted to do going to goal compared to us. We advertised the game to a lot of people. A lot of Greek life came out. Very disappointed with the score and the performance at times. We seemed very shallow-minded in terms of what we thought we could do in that game. I feel like sometimes we kind of just back down from the challenge, because I do feel they are the best team we played so far, and we haven't figured out an issue in terms of how we can improve against them. But we will play them again at some point, and hopefully we can improve from the first 2 games. But as a whole, I do think they were the better team on both days. And I just have to bite the bullet and build off that. We still have 2 more games this season. Hopefully we can pick up 3 points in both matches. So those are exciting times. But in terms of the MSU game, lots of improvements still needed.
The question I'd like to ask you is, what goes on behind the scenes in the e-board, and what do you guys discuss? And if you could, what is your role on the e-board?
Alright, so I'm the social media coordinator. We meet every Monday, or usually every other Monday, just depends. At 6 p.m. we talk about what we'd like to go on in practice, the previous games that we had, what we think we did well and what we think we could improve on. Just stuff about basic operations like e-board council, e-board, meetings for like with Triv and all that. And just as a whole, what we think as the season goes by, what we need to improve on.
And then also, speaking upon improvements, since you're a junior, yes? So you'll be here for 1 more year.
Yeah.
But I asked this question as well to Dante, but what do you see improvements-wise? How can the club improve even more for the future?
Well, I think it starts with our budget. If we're able to get the budget money, it allows us to be able to get the equipment we need, including balls, cones, etc., actual jerseys that fit better, and it'll allow us to maybe organize our practices a little bit better, which I think that's a big key. We need to make our practices a bit more organized, and I also think that just having competition come in from like freshmen that are coming in will also help, because we might plan on making 2 teams, etc. So yeah.
And speaking about funding, exactly, how much funding realistically do you think this club would need in order to succeed in that area?
Well, at the moment, I would say if you think about jerseys, that's going to at least be anywhere from 1 to 2 for each player, because right now we have around 20-30 guys. Equipment would be nice because we're kind of just using random balls that we don't have at the moment. So maybe a couple hundred for balls, things like cones, what else? Maybe some fundraising events, that'd be some more money. And then from there, anything just media based, I could say maybe around and rest as well, the field, maybe around 3, I'd say. Matt would have a better understanding of that than I would.
And then also, moving more team-wise, I would say, what have you noticed so far about the way we play, or more, in other words, say, the team chemistry? Like, what have you noticed so far with these games that we played so far?
It's definitely grown a lot since last semester. You can tell last semester it was very no one knew anyone. I will say I didn't know a lot of the names my fall semester, but ever since it's grown a good amount. It could definitely grow some more, but that'll only come with time. It is our first season together, and the team hasn't really been around for a couple years now. So bringing it back, it will take a little bit more time, but it's definitely a big increase from the fall semester.
And then continuing with the team, I want to ask on a personal level, who's got the personality in the team? For example, who are the leaders, the jokesters, who's always serious? What kind of personalities are brought into this team?
In terms of leaders, I would say it's Dante, Max, and probably Paul. And as well, for more serious as well, I'll put Paul there as well. They kind of have that voice that everyone will listen to, and they're more of the older guys. In terms of the jokesters, I'd have to say yourself. I'll put Yushin in that category, and unfortunately, I'm gonna put Neck in there. In terms of the serious guys as well, again, I would say definitely Paul. I can be serious at times, but I try to have an even balance. But yeah.
And then, kind of leading off on the last question, I want to know, does it feel like a family within the group of players that we have here, with all the different personalities coming in? Does it feel family-oriented?
I wouldn't say that it feels like a family, but I wouldn't say it feels like individuals that don't know each other. Again, we are still very new, and a lot of different personalities, a lot of different grades. We have people that are in grad school, and we have people that are freshmen and just got here. So I wouldn't say it's there yet, but I could say that, you know, this is our first season actually collectively playing as a team, and it's only 6 games, 2 practices a week. You know, maybe in the fall when we have a season, you know, there will be more games, more practices, etc. That'll give us time to all hang out. Plus, I will say that, you know, besides like the people that are in fraternities, there's not like a lot to do around here that maybe other people are involved in. So, yeah.
And then for the last question, I want you to describe to me, in your perspective, your opinion, of what happened in our game against Montclair. Say whatever you want, anything you like. Just tell me, what were your thoughts on that game that happened recently?
So to start off, mentality was not there. Obviously, we played them for our first game of the season. We lose 8-2. You know, that is a little rough then to go into later in the season. You may expect hard competition, but I will say that they were nowhere near the level from that first game, that scrimmage that we played last Saturday. But I just think the mentality wasn't there. We were all kind of scared in a sense, giving them too much respect, especially undermining our own ability, because we've come a very, very long way from that game to now. In terms of a tactical aspect, straight off the bat, we had 3 midfielders against their 3 midfielders, and we were kind of bossing it in the beginning. And then once they realized that, they brought one of their wingers in, and then they played 4 midfielders kind of in a diamond. And then that's where everything just went downhill. You'd see Paul would often be stuck with 2, or I'd be stuck with 2, etc. And then that causes struggle to get back. Defenders like yourself having maybe a 2-on-1 type of situation. And then from there on, it was just once they got they scored 10 seconds in. So once that was in, our heads went down. Then the second came in and the third. And then right after Dante scored, but then Joe Q let that goal in, everything just went downhill from there. Mentality was gone, not even really playing. And the refs also just kind of screwed us over too.
So just overall, just wasn't the performance of the level, or I guess maybe say the levels that we could have.
No, definitely not at all. I'd say that, you know, it was equally unlucky as it was our fault, I'd say. We, you know, it wasn't our best performance, but we were also not done very fairly, I'd say.
Well, I didn't ask this question to Adonis or Dante, but I want to ask you. We have 2 games left.
Okay.
How do we bounce back with these next 2 games? And we have one on Sunday and next week. We have 2 more games left. We don't have much time left.
Okay.
But how do we bounce back in these 2 games?
Well, first of all, I expect us to win both games. We're definitely better than both teams by a good amount. I expect us to win. I think it's just about, you know, explaining the things that maybe we are struggling with. I'd say that, how can I say this? Like, maybe there's a problem that we've seen that's reoccurring that maybe we haven't touched on in practice or just hasn't been spoken about enough. Touching on those little small things. But it's also just a mental thing because we're better than both teams and we should go out and beat them. I think we understood that the Montclair game is going to be more difficult than these next 2 opponents. Thinking like Lafayette and what's the other team again? What are they called? Lafayette and Monmouth. So I don't know, I just think it's a mental thing. Going in, expecting to win, playing like we want to win, like we deserve the win, and then just going from there.